Good Lord. No, you're not on target. You're off target. I know so many of you guys are brought it to my attention. You don't need to do that no more. Just listen. Look, I get it. And I appreciate the fact that you guys care enough to just bring it to my attention. Yes, I saw Jeff's video. For those of you who are not aware, Jeff, the Dinar investor, went out and told people for, 4 or 5 days now, that when I told everybody that the auctions were indeed going, he fought tooth and nail to try to prove me wrong. Only to find out that he's wrong himself. He is not 100% factual, and he is accusing people of lying and misleading, and come to find out that he is the liar and he's the one misleading. I won't spend too much time on this because, look, I just don't care. I keep telling you guys that hey, look, let's hope Jeff's right because we all benefit from it. But I'm going to show what I'm talking about. Remember, for the longest time, Jeff was saying that the auctions weren't happening. In fact, even in this video, he continues to say that the auctions aren't happening, then turns around and says, hey, the auctions are happening. But then again, turns around and says, the auctions aren't happening. You think I'm lying? Pay attention.
Iraq is not resuming the currency auctions. Iraq only needed to have 2 currency auctions.
Now, needed to have 2 currency auctions. Remember I told you guys that the currency auctions took place. And that I showed you that they indeed took place. And he tried to show you that 0 was the cash. And that's his proof that the auctions didn't take place. Totally ignoring the fact that above it, the digital currencies have been auctioned off. Now, I love that he goes on to make this point that, hey, if the auctions were truly happening, why didn't it happen all 5 days? All 5 days of the week, despite the fact that in my videos I told you guys, Iraq told us they would only be open at the bank. They would only be open 2, maybe 3 days a week. So the fact that 2 auctions took place this week only shows you what they're talking about. All right, Jeff, let it go. Let it go, my brother. Let it go. You just are embarrassing yourself. But I don't want to stress too much on Jeff because I know a lot of you guys, you're mad at Jeff, you hate Jeff. No, Jeff's actually a cool guy. He's a cool guy. But he's out there in left field. And he'll do whatever it takes to prove that him and his talk with God are 100% accurate. And even if that means lying straight to your face and flip-flopping worse than a Democrat. Look. You guys remember the last few days, Jeff said there are no auctions and then told people that I was factually wrong. Only to turn around in his video and say there are no auctions. And then flip-flop and say that 2 auctions did occur. And then turn around and say that there are no auctions again. Wow, man. Anyways, you guys don't have to keep informing me about this. Look, I don't need to know about this every single time. We all know that he is out in left field, and that's Looneyville, okay? So just let him say whatever he wants. I don't care. Let's just stick with what we know. Jeff can continue to say all he wants that the auctions are happening, despite the fact that they literally published in a news article that the auctions are happening, and he said it's fake news. And what's even sadder than that, he actually has followers that defended him against me saying, you're just peddling fake news. Holy crap, man. I knew what it felt to be a Democrat. But anyways, the point is this. It's not fake. I proved that the auctions happen. But Jeff has really went out on a limb. He has now said in his videos that the next time we see an auction, the next time the ISX opens, this won't happen until a rate change takes place. I want you guys to know this, and I want to say this, and I mean this full-heartedly. I hope Jeff's right. I hope he is. He's telling everybody that the rate changes are going to happen this weekend. Jeff, man, look, I know you think I'm crazy and I'm lying, but I'm not. I am actually pulling for you to be right. Anybody in their right mind would not want that to happen, okay? We are all pulling that you're right. Nothing would make me more happier, and I'm sure everybody would join me on this and saying this. Nothing would make us more happier than it to actually happen, only to have you come out with a video afterwards and say, see, I told you so. And we'll go, yes, Jeff, you did tell us so. Right on, buddy. Even though out of 70 predictions, you only got one right. But it doesn't make a difference. It doesn't matter. That's the one thing we want you to be right on. Make no doubt about that. But I don't want to go back and forth over this, Jeff. It's just funny how you flip-flop worse than a chick in a bikini on the beach. Okay, I'm just saying. You can't tell your followers that Pimpy's lying, Pimpy isn't telling the truth, he's misleading you. There's no auctions. Then turn around and make a video saying that there was auctions, but there was only 2. Why wasn't there 5 for the week? Well, I told you why. So, Jeff is now on a time clock, people. According to Jeff, the rate change is going to happen this weekend. So please join me in saying this. Please. We hope Jeff is right. Why would I be against the rate change happening this weekend? I hope and pray to good God Almighty and 8-pound, 8-ounce baby Jesus that the rate change happens this weekend. But if it doesn't, Jeff, I suggest you literally get rid of your YouTube channel because any and all credibility is shot unless you have a new message from God when due dates. But anyways, let's not get into it too much. Let's go ahead and continue on with what's going on in Iraq because, again, there's a whole lot going on. All right, first of all, for those of you who don't know by now, I do have a Facebook group with the same name as the YouTube channel, Pimpy's Investment Chat. I will leave a link in the description. Please click it and follow it along. In here, we talk about everything from the Iraqi Dinar, Vietnam Dong, the Zim Dollar, global currency reset, Jacera, Nicera, gold, silver, cryptocurrencies. Everything in here is talked about. I encourage you to go there. And if you have questions, don't be shy. Post a question and people in here will respond. All right. For the most part, and I say most part, it just depends on how you start your post. People are respectful. But if you're going to come in here and say that my CBI insider or that my military insider told me this, then you're about to get ripped to shreds. Because people in this group have been in this whole dinar situation for 10, 12, 15, 16 years. If you start that way, they've heard it all before. And even if it was the truth, they wouldn't believe you. And if you want to avoid getting shredded, don't suggest you start off that way, all right? I'm just saying. But for you amateurs and beginners, please come on in. We invite you. We will welcome you with open arms, okay? So let's get into the news real quick. As we spoke about, and Jeff was so kind to point out to us, there was no auctions today. And even though Jeff was saying, how come there wasn't 5 in a row? There's so many days in a week. I already explained to you guys this. And we saw the news article. They explained that the banks would be open to maybe 5 days a week. Now, we know that tomorrow's Friday and then there's Saturday. This is the weekend in Iraq, so therefore we shouldn't see any auctions. I might be wrong. There might be one for tomorrow, but who knows? But don't be surprised if there's not any. It's their weekend. Come Sunday, that's a different story, but we'll find out. Okay, getting back to what's going on in the world of Iraq, I'm just letting you guys know that indeed our boy Zarfi has stepped aside to let Al-Kazami take the charge on the PM movement. But before we get into that, Saudi Arabia and Russia finally agreed to reduce 5 million barrels per day, while the other OPEC countries 5 million barrels. Yeah, is it me or does this sound like Joe Biden's talking? I'm just saying. Nonetheless, here's the deal. We finally see an agreement between Saudi Arabia and Russia to reduce the amount of oil that is produced. This is beneficial to all the oil producing countries that are out there. Thank goodness. This is beneficial to Iraq, because by reducing the amount of oil that's produced, this will then increase the amount of oil per barrel, and which is much needed in Iraq as well as the other surrounding oil nations, okay? You can see already that Brent crude has jumped up 3.2%, is up to $33.91 per barrel. Their budget, I believe, was set for around $54, $56 a barrel, We will see how this pans out over the next couple of months, but we also know that they are hurting and they need to find a way to make up for the difference in oil prices during this little quick oil war. You and I both know in our opinions, one of the ways they can make up that budget deficit is to increase the rate. And there has been a lot of chitter chatter about that taking place, all right? So anyways, you go on through here and what you're going to see also, hey, Iraq maintains its global ranking in terms of gold reserves. This is good for those of us who believe that Trump is going to put us all back on the gold standard. This is what you want to see. For those who don't believe it, it doesn't matter. It's happening. The World Council confirms on Thursday that 5 Arab countries, including Iraq, maintain their global ranking in terms of having the largest gold reserves. So what does that mean? What does that mean? So the council said in statistical published on the website during the month of April, viewed that Saudi Arabia, Lebanon, Algeria, Libya, Iraq maintain their global rankings in the world's largest gold reserves with 996.4 tons. Good Lord, I got to try reading that again. Okay, maybe I should do this when I'm sober. I'm only kidding. Anyway, so look, we know this is a big deal. Right now, there's a huge move, and it has been since 2008. There's been a huge movement amongst countries to purchase as much gold as possible. I've also spoken about the fact that in Iraq, the second largest gold deposit has been discovered, and nobody, I mean nobody, is mining that gold. To benefit them, it's close to the surface, which means the cost of mining that gold is fairly cheap. I am keeping an eye out to see which company is lucky enough to be able to go into Iraq and mine for this gold, because whoever they are, I definitely want to buy stock in that company, okay? I will keep you informed inside the group. Okay, so the Saudis movement, Al-Kazami, will not form a poor government. He knows the corrupt well and has many files on him. So here's something we talked about. So I have to believe that Zarfi only gave up the opportunity to be PM to this guy Kazami only because they happen to be on the same page. The same page. And this means a lot of people in the Shiite bloc are really nervous. This guy, of more than Zarfi, would know this. And that is how many of these people are influenced by Iran, are corrupt, and they have been doing the Iraq people dirty. So we're going to find out, because I have a feeling once that comes out, we're going to see a lot of people dangling off trees like Christmas tree ornaments. We will soon see, okay? So a lot of you people have commented to me privately, and some in the comments about this guy Kazami. You guys do support him. And I talk about people from the Middle East and people from Iraq. Yes, they do listen to my channel, believe it or not. And there is a lot of support for this guy. So you know what? Let's hope that this guy is legitimate and he is there for the purpose of the Iraqi people. Also, what was brought to my attention is that somehow, some way, they were saying that how, and I'm talking about those people on the other side of the fence over there with my boy Jeff. All right, they're saying, hey, you don't think it's crazy or fake news that Kazami came in office and he had already established his government? No, I don't. You want to know why? Because if you listen to my channel, I already told you that one of the agreements between Zarfi and Kazami was this, that if Zarfi were to step down, the agreement is that Kazami would then inherit his cabinet, the one that he had put together, and that was the agreement in order for Zarfi to step aside. If this wasn't agreed upon, you would not be hearing anything about Kazami at this time. All right, so am I surprised that this guy has a cabinet already established and appointed? No. Is this me? Am I surprised that this guy's getting ready to have already a government in place to present to the parliament to vote upon? No, I already been telling you that for days. Subscribe to my channel and stop listening to UFO people, and you will learn a whole lot more, okay? So, look at there is some direct departments to activate MasterCards. People somehow, some way, some reason want to make this a big deal. I'm not ready to jump on that ship yet, but let's talk about this. On Thursday, the bank directed some of the state departments whose salaries were localized with the bank and received the MasterCards to activate it and receive their monthly salaries. So what they're doing is they're pushing everybody into digital banking, trying to keep away from using the physical currency. And it just is much more simpler, much more easier for them to just turn around and take this MasterCard and pump the money on there, okay? This seems to be a movement around the world, which is going cashless. I do not in any way, shape, or form support it. I have no problem with going have partially crypto and partially fiat, as long as the fiat and the cryptos are backed by gold, but there's no way to really know if the cryptocurrencies are, but there is a way to tell if the currencies, the fiat currencies are. The central bank announces the continuation of its activities and bank according to exception issued by the competent authorities. So what are they saying there? So the Central Bank of Iraq confirmed on Thursday the continuation of its business and banking according to the exceptions issued by competent authorities, pointing to the resumption of meeting foreign transfer requirements. Dun, dun, dun. Go ahead and drop the bombs. The central bank decided at the meeting of the board of directors to continue the work of the central bank and banks according to the exceptions issued by the competent authorities, in addition to resuming the fulfillment of external transfers requests through the window to meet the requests that the citizens and the government routinely need during the period of imposing this ban. So what are we talking about? What kinds of things are we talking about? I'm going to go out on a limb here because I did it before. I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to go out on a line. I'm going to say, are they going to continue their auctions? Yeah, they have already started them. I told you that. The one thing we want to watch for is what? Whether or not they kickstart the ISX. And as we're watching both of these, what we're really looking for is, are they in fact going to do it with the new rate change? Jeff thinks so, and this is what he's told his people. It's going to happen this weekend. So everybody, again, join me in praying and hoping that Jeff is right. I have no problem with saying that if it does happen, because we want the same things. Okay, so just cross your fingers. Let's hope this happens. Looks like, again, there's a whole new change in the big dog at the top. So it looks like Kazami is going, I guess that's how you pronounce it. I guess you guys will let me know. But it looks like he is now going to be the person running for the position of PM. But make this, no doubt about this, if for whatever reason there's an excuse and this guy doesn't make it, you can guarantee there will be a dissolving of the parliament, which is something that I have been campaigning for. But we will soon see. All right, you guys? Hit the thumbs up button, subscribe if you're not a subscriber. I encourage you to do so because you want to get the notifications whenever I post a new video. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about what's going on over there with the new PM designate being appointed and the fact that he took over those he appointed by Zarfi as his cabinet. All right. Okay. So anyways, y'all have a good evening. Have a good one. Bye.